Right now, we're going to talk a little more Aztec hoops. Joining us, the associate head coach in waiting of San Diego State basketball, Brian Dutcher, with us here on Extra Sports 1360. We just go from one coach to another. Coach, good to have you this morning. How you doing?
Good to be with you guys.
Always a pleasure, Coach. Do you guys think you're in the NCAA tournament, or how do you look at this, Coach? Because, I mean, the fans are getting a little worried one way or another. What do the players and the coaches think about it all?
You know, we try not to dwell on it a whole lot. I look at all the numbers. You see we're in the top 30 in RPI and BTI and Ken Palm ratings and all this and that. So you'd think numbers-wise we're in, but when you leave it in someone else's hands, there's always a worry that things can turn out the other way. So we feel good about what we've done, but until we see our name on the board, obviously there's always a concern.
You know, you want to look forward. You've got the Mountain West Conference Tournament beginning tomorrow night against Boise State, but got to look back just for a second. This season, this regular season, could have been spectacular with just a couple of more baskets here or there, you know, just in one game or another. You guys were so close so many times. Is that frustrating?
We would like to close out one of two of these road victories. I mean, that's what the conference champ ends up doing, wins tight games on the road, and that's what New Mexico was able to do. That's why they won the regular season. They beat Boise in overtime. They won a thriller at Colorado State when Kendall Williams had to score 45 to do it. And it's hard on the road in this conference, and the conference champ is the one that's able to squeeze out those road victories. Everybody's pretty good at home. I think everybody had one home loss in conference in the top six. With the exception of New Mexico, they had no home losses. So they're a deserving conference champ, but the rest of us are close to them, and I think it'll make for a good conference tournament.
Coach, break down the matchup against Boise State here on Wednesday night. What do you take from Saturday's game, if anything, into this one? The last four times you have played Boise State, the game has come down to the final minute. So it's going to be something.
4 out of the last 5, at least.
4 out of the last 5. No, the last 4.
No, the one at Boise State last year, the Aztecs crushed them.
Oh, they crushed them last year. Right, 4 out of the last 5. But, I mean, we can expect another tight game. So how do you break it down for us?
Well, we've got to look and see that this year that Marks, their point guard, has hurt us in both games. Dermick obviously had a great game the second time we played him, but we did a pretty good job on him the first game. But we've got to pay more attention to Marks. The problem with is that he's a outstanding one-on-one player, that some of the shots he makes are over a contest hand, that he's able to create his own shot, that it's not as much taken away his catch-shoot. He's going one-on-one. He's able to create off the dribble, and that's created problems for us.
Do you ever feel like the other team just can't miss against the Aztecs this season? I know watching, I kind of get that feeling. You get hands in the face, you're running out at those threes, and yet the other team just seems to bury them all the time on you guys.
You know, in certain games that happens. Other games we're able to have a good roll or two go our way. I mean, as when we beat Boise at our place when the ball squirted out, I'm sure they felt they had that game won, and it squirted to Chase Taplin. He made one of those. So you hope those balance out by the end of the year, but we've got to play good defense. We've got to make the shots they take, hard ones, and if they make them, then we've got to tip our hats to them and say, you made a tough shot. But we've got to continue to improve, which I think we are. We had a great day of practice yesterday. That if we play with that type of intensity and defensive effort, I think we'll be in good shape.
Coach, you guys have won 10 of your last 12 games in the Mountain West Conference Tournament over the last 4 years, 2 championships, 2 runner-up finishes. What has been the secret the last 4 years to your success in Vegas?
I think it's continuing to get better. We play our best basketball under Steve Fisher, usually at the end of the year. He's done a great job over his coaching career of continuing to improve the team, not peaking too early, to continue to find out what our faults are, work on those, and try to grow our team. And I think at the end of the year, generally, we're playing our best basketball, and hopefully that will be the case again going into Vegas this year.
Is there anything that could surprise you this week in the tournament? I mean, even if Nevada beat New Mexico in the first round, that can't be stunning. I mean, Nevada has some great players, and they're the last seed. There's not like one game where I'd say that you've got a sure winner in this tournament.
No, the favorite, even though New Mexico is the conference champ, has to be UNLV. They're playing on their home floor. So as soon as someone knocks those off, I would say that would be the first real upset of the tournament. Other than that, on a neutral floor, I would say anybody's capable of beating anybody in this conference.
Coach, how are you guys health-wise heading into the tournament?
We seem to be about as good as we've been all year. James Rahan still has a little bit of the shoulder that bothers him from time to time, but he's a tough kid. He plays through it. He never complains. but at times he gets hit in practice. You can see it bothers him a little. And then Xavier, those of us who have had back problems know that you don't just get rid of a back problem. It might flare up from time to time. Again, he's another one that would never say a word, but you see him at times in practice pause for a second. You know it's bothering him. But this is the time of the year where we can't be bothered by injuries. We got to play through them, and I think both those kids have done a great job toughing it out, even though I'm sure they're not at 100%. They're as close as they've been in a long time.
Last thing, Coach, what's the plan tomorrow? Because that is a long day in Las Vegas waiting for the game. I mean, do you take the team out to watch some of the games beforehand, or is that make everyone too antsy to get started? What's the plan to get you through all the way to 9 o'clock?
Dutch goes bowling.
Yeah, I go bowling. No, I think I'd be surprised if we didn't go to a game. Go to an afternoon session for a little bit to get them out of the hotel. We'll have a shoot around, obviously, our pregame meal. So we'll be out working before the game a little bit basketball-wise, but to just get them out of the hotel for a little while and get them out of that hotel air and get them in some fresh air. And it is a long time till 9 o'clock. The only time the 9 o'clock game is hard is when you have to play the next day. But being there's an off day after that game, the 9 o'clock game should not affect your following performance, which is always a concern.
Coach, best of luck, man. Let's do it again in Vegas. We've done it several times the last few years. It's been some great runs, both men and women, and hopefully it'll be another great week there. We appreciate the time.
Thanks, guys.